In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up IVR, IVR meaning interactive voice response for your phone. So that's anytime somebody calls your business and there's an initial prompt of press 1 for sales, press 2 to speak with a representative. So let's log into your account and get that set up. So before we set up that workflow, I want to go through a demo to show you exactly what we're going to set up. So I'm going to call the test number that we set this up with. Thank you for calling Rocepez Media. Please press 1 if you are calling to inquire about client services. Press 2 if you would like to leave a voicemail and someone from our team will return your call shortly. So we're going to press 1 in this example. Hello, thank you so much for your interest and working with Rocepez Media. All of our team members are currently assisting other callers, so if you could, please leave a voicemail or send us a text message, and myself or someone from my team will return your call as soon as possible. Thank you so much for your patience and for choosing Rocepez Media. I look forward to connecting. Please record your message after the beep and press pound when you finish recording your message. This is a test voicemail recording. Now I'm pressing pound. And then the call ends. So let's hop into our account to see where that voicemail went. So from the dashboard, we're going to click right underneath dashboard and click on conversations. And at the very top of the list, since this was a recent call, we see the number where the call was made. And then we see right here on the conversation feed, the voicemail. This is a test voicemail recording. Now I'm pressing pound. And that is where the voicemails go. So let's get this IVR automation set up. So now that we're back in your dashboard, I quickly want to show you the automation wireframe build out so you have an idea of what it's going to look like. So let's go to automations. So this is what the IVR workflow that we just went through and tested will look like. So the initial trigger is start IVR trigger. And then after that, there is an initial voicemail message that you heard. And then from that voicemail recording, they're prompted to press either 1 or 2. So if they press 1, they go down this sequence of actions where there is another pre-recorded voicemail. And then after that, there is a second pre-recorded voicemail, more like an instructional how to record your voicemail. And then there is a text message that goes out to the contact, basically just acknowledging that we got your call and we are going to get back to you as soon as possible. And then sequence 2 is basically just leave a voicemail. So all I did was copy from down here and pasted it right in this area because it's basically the same sequence of actions. Record a voicemail, instructions on how to record your voicemail, a text message to the contact, and then they're removed from this workflow. So if they don't press 1 or 2 or any key, then basically what happens is they get pulled back up to the initial voicemail and they're prompted to either press 1 or 2 again. So now that we have an idea of what it's going to look like, let's build this out from scratch. So when we log into our account and land on the dashboard, we're going to click on the left-hand navigation bar, and right underneath marketing, we're going to click automation. So let's click on automation and it's going to take us to the workflow interface. So from here at the very top right of the screen, we're going to click on create workflow. And then since we're building this from scratch, I'm going to select the first block, start from scratch, and click on continue. And let's name this workflow test IVR. So the very first thing that I like to do is go into the settings section and allow re-entry, meaning anytime somebody calls this phone number more than once, they'll be rerouted back into this workflow. So I also like to mark as red, and then let's go back to the builder. So remember, the initial trigger is the IVR trigger. So we're going to click this little button here, and then we can either type in the search bar IVR, or we can scroll all the way to the bottom to the IVR section and click start IVR trigger. And then you are prompted to select which number you want to set this up with. So keep in mind, you can set this up with any number within your account. So from the dropdown, you're going to select the number that you want to set up this IVR workflow. And then at the very bottom right of the screen, click Save Trigger. And then the very first action that we're going to do is play a welcome message. So let's click on the plus icon, and then the action window will open up from the right of the screen. And then we're going to scroll all the way down to the IVR section. Now, currently, these are the 4 action options that we have: gather input on call, say play message, connect to call, record voicemail. So since we are trying to gather information from the caller, the very first action item is gather input on call. And then for the action name, we're just going to give it a title, welcome message. And then below that, say or play message. So you have the option to type out your message and have an AI voice respond, or you can upload a pre-recorded voicemail. So in this example, we're going to upload a pre-recorded voicemail. So from the drop down, I'm going to click play a message, and then I'm going to click the green upload file button. Now I'm going to select the initial welcome message, click open, and then you'll see that file has successfully been uploaded. You can even play the voicemail to make sure that you selected the right voicemail. And then number of loops is how many times you want that voicemail to be played. In this example, I only want it to be played once. And then below that, we have match conditions. So this is where you start to build out the branches. So I'm going to toggle that on. And then for branch name, I'm going to say press 1. And then on key press, I'm going to enter the value 1. And then right underneath that field, we have add branch. We're going to click add branch. And then we're going to type in press 2. So this is if the caller presses 2, they will go in this sequence of actions. Press 2, and then none, basically if they don't press any keys, this will happen. So below that, we have advanced settings. Let's take a look at that by clicking the drop down. Stop gathering after how many seconds. So this basically just puts a limit on how much time you want to give the caller to enter their prompt. So I will say 10 seconds. So stop gathering on key press. So this is if the caller, for example, presses 0 and doesn't actually press one of the numbers that you prompted. Now you can toggle this on or off. So in this example, we're going to leave that toggled off and then stop gathering after digits. So the number of digits you are expecting from a caller. So for example, we've asked to press either 1 or 2. So they're only entering 1 digit. So we're going to leave 1. And then on the very bottom right of the screen, we're going to click save action. And then now you see the branches where we can start to build out the different sequences of actions that happen. So if they press 1, in this example, we are not going to have them connect to an actual person. We're just going to have them leave a voicemail. So if they press 1, let's click on the plus icon. And then we're going to scroll all the way back to the bottom to the IVR section and then click say play message. This is if they press 1. We're going to click the drop down and click play a message to upload the file that's going to be played when they press 1. So we're going to select the file that's going to play when they press 1. And then how many times do we want it to loop? Just once. We're going to go to the very bottom right of the screen and click save action. And then below that, we're going to add a second voicemail. And this is just basically a audio instructional on how to leave a voicemail. So in the action name, it's just going to say voicemail. And then from the drop down, we're going to play a message, click the green upload file button, and then select the voicemail that will play, providing them voicemail instructions. So that'll play for them, giving them instructions on how to leave a voicemail. And then now we're going to click the blue save action button located at the very bottom right of the screen. And then now we're going to add the action item of leaving an actual voicemail. So we're going to click the plus icon again. The action list will pop up again. We're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. And in the IVR section, we're going to click record voicemail. So now let's go through these options. Action name, we're going to leave it as record voicemail. Play beep. So if you want that beep sound to play before the recording starts, toggle that on. And then below play beep, we have stop recording after seconds of silence. So if no words are spoken after 5 seconds, it'll stop recording. So I'll just say after 10 seconds and then stop recording on key press. So if you wanted to stop recording on pound, just enter the pound there. And then max recording length, you can set that configuration up. Add voice instructions, toggle that on. And this is where we add the voicemail recording on how to leave a voicemail. So I'm going to click from the drop down, play a message, click the green upload file button, and then select the file that we want to upload. And then again, you'll see the file name, and then you can even play the file to make sure that you selected the correct file. So that's the message they will hear before they record their message. Number of loops, leave it at 0. And then at the very bottom right of the screen, click the blue save action button. I always like to, at the end of every single automation, add the action item remove from workflow, just as an extra layer of certainty that they will be removed from this workflow after they finished it. So I'm going to save that action. And now if the caller presses 2, they will be prompted to leave a voicemail. Now, since we built out that sequence inside of the press 1 branch, I'm just going to copy and paste it inside of the press 2 branch. So to do that, all you got to do is click on these 3 little dots. And remember, we're starting from here because this initial voicemail is acknowledging that they pressed 1 for client services. So we don't want to paste that inside of Press 2. I'm going to copy it from here, which is basically just the voicemail instructions. So we're going to copy from here by clicking the 3 little dots and then selecting copy all actions from here. And then right here where it says copy here, we're just going to click that. And then those steps basically populate inside of the Press 2 branch. Now for none, if they don't press any keys, I basically just want them to be rerouted back to the initial message. So to do that, we're going to click on the little plus icon and then scroll all the way down until you see the go to action item underneath the internal tools. So we're going to click go to, save action, and then we're just going to click on the welcome message. So now if they don't press any button, they will basically just be rerouted back to the initial message. Now, before we exit, we want to make sure that we go up to the top right and toggle on publish and then click save. So that way we save this workflow. And that is how you build an IVR workflow within your account.